Hello again. This is Nick Roach. We're outside again. I've got a little microphone this time as opposed to the one on the camera. It's quite windy, but we'll see if that helps at all. Get rid of some of the background noise. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the direct path, as termed by Ramana Maharshi. Now I have likened the path I followed and what I was taught to the path described by Ramana Maharshi of holding on to the stillness, or the I am inside, just holding that. And Ramana said that is the most direct path to realizing this. And I've said, to a large extent, that's the path I followed. Didn't know anything about Ramana until much later, but as it happens, that's what I did. And I had a question from someone recently. A message came through saying, Nick, I've been holding on to the I am and nothing's happening. It doesn't seem to be working. What am I doing wrong? What else can I do? And to me the issue is because holding on to the I am could potentially only be half of the process. A bit like the people who have spent years meditating 2 hours a day, wake up early in the morning and spend an hour, 2 hours sitting there holding on to it, and maybe later on in the evening again meditate for another hour, and 30 years later they're still doing it. Excuse me. Now holding on to the I am is a great practice, great thing to do. I did it all day, every day, as much as I could, kept bringing myself back to the I am, to the stillness, the experience, the awareness reflecting on itself all day, every day. I kept bringing myself back, but one has to do it in the emotionally difficult times as well. In fact, that is the most important time to do it. You see, let's say you're sitting here now, feeling inside, and let's say you don't have any emotional disturbance at all. I don't know if you have. Let's say there's no disturbance there. And you sit and hold on to that. Great. You're experiencing being what you already are. That's why there's no feeling there. It is you. You are it. And you're just experiencing being. But as I said, you're only experiencing what you already are. How do you go deeper? How do you go further? How do you become more self-realized than you already are? You need to realize, make real more of yourself. Big S, what they call the higher self. More of the pure being behind it all. You need to make that more conscious, become more conscious, more aware, more alive, and less unconscious, less emotional. You see, it's the emotion, I've said before, we feel it as a disturbance. Now if you can feel it, if you can feel anything, that's separate from you. Okay, this is separate, we know that, we're dealing with that. But inside, if you can feel anything, the thing you're feeling must be separate from you to feel it. Or else you wouldn't be able to feel it, because you'd already be it. You only feel what you are not. Obvious, really. So having established you only feel what you are not, and if you feel any disturbance inside you, that is a bit which you haven't yet realized. What we're doing is grabbing hold of that with the conscious awareness, holding on to that feeling, disturbance, whatever emotion it might be, it doesn't matter. Hold on to that with your intelligence. Because that is a bit you can feel, that's a bit you're separate from, that is another bit you want to make conscious. That's another bit you want to realize, become real for you. You don't want that to be separate anymore. You want to become that, merge with it. I've done lots of videos about dissolving emotion, but it's so vital. People listen to it and go, oh, that's interesting. Did a talk about that recently, saying something's interesting. It's missing the point. If you don't do it, then you're just waiting for life to gradually, gently take you in its own time. And that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to speed things up, then you've got to do half the work. Life will provide the circumstances outside to disturb you inside, and the emotion will come up. Life's done its job, the emotion's up, you can feel it. Now your job is to realize, make real, become that energy which is currently unconscious. It's separate. You need to merge with that and become that. Hold it consciously. And you move into the space. Your conscious awareness moves into that space of unconscious feeling. And bit by bit, it dissolves, dissipates, becomes conscious, evaporates, whatever term you want to use. I hope you can see this. That simply being aware of being aware is fantastic. But it's only half the job. If you're not doing it when the times get difficult, when the emotion comes up, if every time the emotion comes up, you then do as most of the population does, goes into the imagination and thinks about the problem and loses yourself. If every time you get emotional you do that, you're undoing any good that you've done at all with being conscious when in the good times. If you don't do it when things are getting tough, then you're treading water at best. But more likely, you're going backwards. No matter how much time you spend when things are good, being conscious, being aware of the I am, experiencing being. If every time the emotion comes up, you go into it unconsciously thinking and worrying, you're increasing the amount of emotion, the amount of separation you've got within the psyche. So it's vital, if trying to follow what Barry Long says, or what I say, or what Ramana Maharshi says, holding on to stillness, the I am, it's vital to do that, particularly in emotionally difficult times. Because if you don't do it in emotionally difficult times, there's almost no point in doing it. It's entertaining yourself. It's doing something for the sake of doing it. Because it's absolutely vital. Because all this emotion has to be made conscious. It's the unconscious, the energy which is creating the whole environment, creating all the difficulties, all the problems in your life. It's the energy which is driving the thinking mind and makes it so difficult to stay in the moment and hold it now. It's that emotion, the same energy. Just because you can't feel it, don't think it's not there. Why else would you not be able to stop thinking? It's because the energy in the unconscious is driving forward all the time, and you need to get into that. You need to occupy that space. And simply, whenever life provides a situation which is emotionally difficult and the emotion comes up and rises, once you've done whatever you can do practically to deal with it, that's important. Hold it. Hold the energy. Hold the discomfort. That's the time when you do the work. That's the time when you're becoming more conscious. You're reclaiming that unconscious energy. You're becoming more self-realized, more awake. By occupying more unconscious energy in the psyche. And you, the awareness, become bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually there's no boundaries. The boundaries disappear, and it's just being. And the emotion still keeps coming, and you still keep dissolving it, absorbing it, becoming it. And the sense of being gets deeper and deeper and stiller into nothing beyond words. And still the emotion keeps coming. By this time you're already there all the time. The emotion comes up and it's dissolved. Emotion comes up, dissolved. Emotion instantly. And you're going deeper and deeper and deeper. And the sense of separation inside is being dissolved, gone. And still the separation outside continues. And still this energy is coming up, being dissolved. And you're going deeper and deeper. But as you can see, it's vital you dissolve the emotion. It's vital you do this while the emotion's there. Don't just try and sit for 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day, when everything's fine and peaceful, thinking you're doing it. And then be unconscious the rest of the day, having rows with people and getting moody and angry and upset. You could forget the 3 hours in the morning, just go for a nice walk. And all day, any disturbance, deal with it. And you're doing far more during the day than you achieved in those 3 hours in the morning. Just about watching. It's just about being aware. Aware of the I am, the being, the awareness, and being aware of what's going on around you, around me. Just being aware, and any disturbance, hold it. In the knowledge, I am now disturbed. This is something separate from me. This is some energy within this pure being that I am, and I'm going to dissolve it and reclaim it. Reclaim this energy. And every time you do that, you become more conscious, more aware, and less emotional. Thank you.